hello, a simple word, alright? Just a greeting. Or is it? I mean, how much did you look into that? Or, to put it another way, how much did you look into that without even realising? Okay, let's look at this together. First, you may have realised that I am a polite individual, considering the nature of my greeting. Secondly, you also may have realised that I'm British, both from my language and accent. You may also be thinking that given the formal structure and content of my discourse. Then again, you may realise that of course I'm reading this from a script, and that all of my words have been pre-chosen by the creator of this. What I'm trying to say is that without even realising it, you can take a lot from just words. So, if that's one word, how much can you take from an entire sentence? Or, just as interestingly, how much can I, or anyone for that matter, convey in a sentence? Basically, what I'm trying to say, well, what's this piece trying to say? Well, what the creator is trying to say is how important is subtext. Now, I was talking to you then about subtext in its simplest form, emphasis on the talking. Subtext, however, isn't limited to just one mode of communication. It can work through any medium. So, for example, you have the written word. Isn't that handy? Now, written language in some ways acts the same as spoken language. For example, words can mean the same things, but obviously there are differences as well. For starters, you lose accents and inflections on written language, but that doesn't mean that written language can't be expressive. I mean, if I roar at you, see, that's not very impressive. But if I roar, much better, don't you think? Much better. A story that has come to fascinate me as my interest in language has developed is the fable of the Tower of Babel. In case you don't know, the Tower of Babel, which is told about in Genesis, was built at a time when all humans spoke the same language and was a tower built to reach heaven. God, seeing our intentions, confused our language and scattered the people of the tower. So what does that tell us? What it tells me is that language can be a force even God recognizes. Surely there can be no more powerful force. Of course we do! Firstly, we need it for all the people that aren't able to see any of the other forms. Blind people will be severely handicapped in society if we suddenly abandon speaking. That isn't to say that we shouldn't embrace the newer ways of communicating, but more that we should use them as well as the older ones, hand in hand. Variety is the spice of life, after all.